Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Cochran. I want to let you know what happened at the board meeting last night, June 13th, 2022. The BG&T committee reported first. They've got an ad hoc committee that's working on grade configurations and trying to figure out how to best use the buildings that we have. And they talked about growth a little bit, and growth was kind of all the way through here, you'll notice. They were talking about the water tower. I guess Blair has decided that it's time to repaint our water tower. And of course, we think the Blair logo should go on it. And the Blair schools will be responsible for buying the paint, which from what I understand, last time the water tower was painted, it was painted the wrong color purple. So the schools surely will get the right color purple. Lots of school safety stuff being talked about, talking about team training that's going on right now, mental health counseling that we have, licensed mental health practices. We have 3 school psychologists. Seems though we have a reporting system that's anonymous to report suicide attempts, abuse, bullying, anything that needs to be reported. It's an anonymous system, and I know nothing about it. This was brought up after the public questions, and so I didn't have a chance to ask. They also talked about the inside doors locking from the outside, so when the teachers close it, the doors are locked. So that's all going to come in to the teacher training to make sure that the teachers are locking the doors and no doors are being left propped open. And we're going to make sure when the teachers class comes in, that the teacher's the last one in, so she can do a nice little pull on that outside door to make sure it's shut. The bus barn needs work. So they're going to start looking into the bus barn and seeing what kind of work it needs and figuring out the money it's going to cost. They're also talking about possibly doing a little bit more expansion on the bus barn. And the expansion would be, possibly to house the auto tech program. So they're also talking about possibly, there was lots of possiblies in this meeting, possibly relocating Arbor Park's office to the front. So it's in front of the doors. And they said that Arbor Park's front doors are pretty much the last doors that haven't been replaced. They're still really old and sometimes they don't close good. And so there was talk about replacing those doors, but they're talking about moving this office up front. And if they move this office up front, they're looking at an $800,000 renovation. If they would just replace the doors, they're talking about $40,000 to $50,000. So they don't want to replace the doors and then move the office up front and then may possibly having to replace doors again because they don't fit with the office. I don't know. So there's a lot of I don't know what's going on what they're going to do, but it sounded like a lot of money being talked about. Procedures are being gone over, like I said, for the safety of your children. So the teachers are the last one in. So we make sure the outside doors are shut. Make sure the teachers' doors are shut to keep our children safe. With finance, when finance came up, they said that it muttered off a little bit at the end, so I could not completely understand what she said. I heard $438,000. I think that's state funds that we're getting, which is an increase of 17,000 from last year. We so far have not gotten any program for free lunches for next year. So if you have enjoyed this 2 years of free lunch, and I have, it sounds like that's coming to an end. So if you had to pay for breakfast and lunches 2 years ago, be prepared to have to pay for breakfast and lunches this year. Staffs are reviewing the student fees. Those student fees they're going to take public input on those student fees on July 11th. So if you are in a situation where you have a child that has student fees and you want to say something, be at the July 11th board meeting. The sub pay is going to stay the same, $160 for 1 to 9 days of subbing, 160 a day for 1 to 9 days of subbing, $175 a day for 10 plus days of subbing. The superintendent's contract got renewed for 2 years. He got a 2-year renewed contract for $180,000 a year. The Arbor Counseling wants to present to the board for next year. There's a new position that they have developed, which is going to be a great position. They're going to call it the communications director or the communications specialist. They haven't quite agreed upon a name. They had a job description in front of them, but they didn't share that with the public. I'm sure they're going to be sharing it somewhere because they're going to try to get this person hired. This person is going to shine all the wonderful things that are going on at Blair. Students that are succeeding, that a student that we had that had a perfect 36 ACT score. Woohoo. The board meetings, what's said in the board meetings, what's going on, what's happening. So the community can be a little bit more involved, so they can involve the parents more. So I think that's going to be a great position. They're going to be looking for somebody with strong communication skills. Possibly a 190-day contract. That is still a fluid situation going on. They haven't tacked down all of the final details about that. Also, strategic plans. They talked about the MAP test and how 80% of our kids are scoring in the 40 percentile or higher. And they said that that's really good. They said our K through 2 kids need some improvement. I can see that they've had a hard start of their school experience. There's going to be a new CTE program, computer programming. It's going to start with a intro to tech, and they said that students can get 12 college credit hours for it. They're expecting 2 to 3% growth. So that's 2 to 3 kids per grade level per year. They said with the building that's going on around here, houses are going up all over the place. With the job increase that's going on around here, we may even see 4 or 5% increase. So they're really, this has been a topic for the last several meetings, is increase. And what are we going to do if our population, or if our school population increases dramatically? And how are we going to house the different grade levels? Skills Academy, that's that academy that has the children that need a little extra special, the children that we are busing out to Boys Town and other much more hands-on specialty type education facilities. That's going to be our Skills Academy. I believe they said it was going to be housed in North to start with. At least that's what they said last night. They have hired 3 teachers and a para for that program. They did talk about having a special called board meeting on July 18th. They couldn't agree on anything. Nobody could, they all couldn't be there. It didn't seem like any date between now and next board meeting. So they decided on July 18th, they're going to have a special board meeting, and they're going to talk about all the ad hocs that's going on, and possibly have the Arbor Park counseling come and do their presentation that day. But that's it. It was nice to see all the board members there. Parks had an excused absence. 2 of your board candidates were there, Courtney and Nate. Thank you so much. You have a good day.